Kia ora and welcome. The purpose of this induction film is to provide you with some information about how you should behave around marine mammals. If you're out there kayaking or boating, you may at some point see dolphins, seals or possibly a whale. It's really important for you to understand the rules and regulations when interacting with marine mammals and how you can minimise disturbance so that they stick around for everyone to enjoy.
Tagataka te hā ki te uru, tagataka te hā ki te tonga. Kia mā kina kina ki uta, kia mā taratara ki tae. E hi ake ana te atākura, he tio, he huka, he hauhu. Ti hai Māori ora. Cease the winds from the west, cease the winds from the south, and may a gentle breeze blow across the land. The red-tipped dawn comes with a touch of frost. The promise of a glorious day. Join, gather, intertwine. It is done. 'Tis a celebration of life. These are the lands and waters of my people. We are the people of Ngāti Rārua and Te Atiawa. According to our traditions, humanity is related to all of the species we share this planet with. And this common bond shapes the relationships and interconnectedness we have with one another. This is the basis of kaitiakitanga, the Māori principle of custodial care. In this region, we are a coastal people, and our relationship with marine mammals is central to our identity. The well-being of these children of Tangaroa depends upon our behaviour. So we need to adhere to important tikanga or practices to ensure healthy and sustainable communities of tohora, aihe and kēkeno. As more and more people visit our territory, pressure increases on the natural environment. Because my people can't be everywhere, we ask that you assist us to provide appropriate care so you can help to care and respect for these beautiful, wild and sacred animals.
New Zealand has a rich marine mammal fauna, and seeing seals, dolphins and perhaps a whale or two is always a highlight when visiting the Abel Tasman National Park. They are a special part of our natural heritage, and depending on where you are and when, some are reasonably abundant, such as New Zealand fur seals along the Abel Tasman coast. However, several marine mammals are now threatened or endangered, including some of our most familiar species. Bottlenose dolphins are nationally endangered, with less than 400 individuals in the Cook Strait Tasman area and only around 1,000 estimated to be in New Zealand coastal waters. There is also evidence of declines in numbers in both Fiordland and the Bay of Islands. Southern right whales are also nationally endangered, with again less than around 1,000 individuals nationwide, and the bulk of these reside in the subantarctics. Numbers seen around the mainland remain very low. Killer whales, or orca, periodically visit many parts of our coast, yet they are nationally critical, with an estimated coastal population of only around 120 individuals. Although killer whales are at the top of the food chain, having such low numbers leaves little room for error, especially when considering the range of other environmental pressures facing them and other marine mammals in our seas.
Under the Marine Mammals Protection Act, all marine mammals are protected. The Act's focus is on the protection, conservation and management of marine mammals. The Marine Mammal Protection Regulations were created specifically to manage marine mammal tourism and watching. Their focus is on preventing adverse effects on and interference with marine mammals, including effects on their normal behaviour. It is not an offence to accidentally harm marine mammals. For example, if you inadvertently catch a dolphin in a set net, but any marine mammal deaths or injuries have to be reported to the Department of Conservation or to the Ministry of Primary Industries.
Tourism pressure is one of many threats that marine mammals face in the marine environment, a significant piece in a much bigger jigsaw puzzle. Although there is an underlying risk of marine mammals being hit by tourism vessels, effects on marine mammal behaviour and activity is a bigger issue. Some things are obviously disruptive, doing donuts around them, cutting through groups or disturbing mothers and calves. But so too is interfering with their feeding, resting and socialising, all critical life behaviours for marine mammals. Noise is one of the biggest concerns, especially for whales and dolphins, which rely on sound for social interactions such as mating and mother and calf bonds, and also for hunting and sensing hazards. Revving engines, quick changes in directions and fast approach speeds all produce high levels of underwater noise, which can disturb marine mammals, interfere with social communication and mask their ability to sense their environment. Past exposure and experience will also affect how marine mammals react. If they've had a good experience, they'll probably be less inclined to get stressed and worried about your activity than if they've had a negative experience. And while yours may be the only vessel or kayak tour near a group of dolphins or seals, remember your visit may be one of many that they have to contend with that day. The more vessels there are at any one time or repeatedly over the course of a day, the greater the impact.
While at first glance these might appear daunting, there's some simple practical do's and don'ts when watching marine mammals. Don't approach any closer than 20 metres to seals on shore or on rocks. There's a 300 metre no-wake zone for vessels around seals, dolphins or whales. Keep vessel speeds under 5 knots even when entering and exiting the 300 metre zone. The same rule applies for dolphins and whales. Keep your speed under 5 knots within 300 metres. Approach them from behind and to the side, avoiding this area in front so you don't disrupt their travel and foraging. For all species, keep your movements consistent, avoiding revving engines or sudden and repeated changes in direction. Don't circle them, obstruct their path or cut through any group. For all marine mammals, no more than 3 vessels are allowed within 300 metres at any one time. A group of kayakers can raft up to minimise their visual presence. So up to 6 kayaks can group together as a raft to qualify as one vessel in the 3-boat rule. When kayaks are grouped together in a raft, it's less intrusive than if they're spread out separately around the seals or dolphins. When it's time to leave, idle slowly away. Again, less than 5 knots and avoiding the area in front until you are outside the 300 metre zone. If dolphins follow your boat, it is okay to outdistance them by gradually increasing your speed above 5 knots along a steady path. If you chance across a whale, you must not seek to come into contact with it. And as well as the 300 metre no-wake zone, there is a 50 metre radius around the whales that must be actively avoided. Swimming with whales and orca is not permitted, nor is swimming with dolphins along the Abel Tasman coast. You need to abandon contact should marine mammals show any signs of alarm or disturbance. While we cannot read their minds, there are some telltale signs that marine mammals are not happy, like seals rearing up, barking or retreating, or dolphins actively swimming away from boats or slapping their tails. If they show no interest, view them from a distance. If they try to avoid you, heed their wishes and leave them alone altogether. Overall, these rules are all about interacting with marine mammals on their terms, in their environment, and not forcing our desires on them. This way, we can help ensure your encounter is an enjoyable one, for you and for them.
In my culture, we have a prophecy that when the domain of Tāne, deity of the forest, and the realm of Tangaroa, god of the ocean, is sustained, so too is the future of humanity. Toi tū te marae a Tāne, toi tū te marae a Tangaroa, toi tū te iwi.